Hello and welcome to PE turned RE. I'm Curtis, and today we're talking about landlord adventures. Since I'm a self manager and I recommend if you invest where you live that you are as well, I hope that you can learn from my experience and not make the same errors. So, this was me on Monday morning. I woke up to a text from a tenant asking, "Is your water working?" Never a good sign. So I go around the house, I'm checking the sinks, I'm checking the shower, and all I'm getting is bloop, 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 little droplets. And I'm like, oh boy, this is not good. So I know that we just got hit with the cold front here in Western Washington. So I'm like, okay, maybe something froze. This is a first. So I go around checking maybe where could it have been that it froze, and I find the faucet outside, and then there's like a little door that you can go and mess with the pipe if need be. And I figured, oh, that must be it. So luckily, I have good people in my life. So I texted my mentor, seeing what I could do, and I also was YouTubing like crazy, saying, okay, how do I fix a frozen pipe? There's all sorts of ideas. I thought, well, let me try to solve it on my own. Worst case, I call a plumber. And so I ran to Walmart, ran to Lowe's, I got all the stuff that I might need. And so I started with the basic one. I set up the hair dryer, pointed it at the pipe, and kind of just turn it on and hope for the best. And I was nervous. I was like, "Oh God, if this doesn't work, what do I have to do?" If you can look to the left of it, you'll see that there's a little faucet there. I open that up to relieve some of the pressure, and not too long after, it actually did start to flow out, and oh, I was so grateful. But I left it running a bit to get everything out. I went inside my unit and made sure the sinks worked, the shower worked. It's like, okay, cold and hot. And then I text the tenant that lived above me to make sure his stuff still worked. And when he got back home, it did. So, fix the problem. That is great. There's no leaks to my knowledge. Um, so that's always good. Now, how can you prevent this from happening in the future? And how I went about preventing it in the future is I better insulated it. So I put like a little sleeve thing over the faucet itself. It was pretty insulated in there. I wrapped the pipes with a insulating wrap, and then I put some insulation like you would in walls or the attic in that hole to help keep everything warm. Before I closed the door, I also put another layer there to really make sure it was crammed in there with insulation. What I'm also doing on the inside of the house is my sinks. I'm letting them drip overnight. And today, while at work, I also had them drip as well, just so there's constant flow, so that pipe has no chance to freeze. And if you live in a place that's cold and you have a pipe or any water thing that can get frozen, I highly suggest that you do the same. Make sure it's heavily insulated, and then also do the drip technique as well. It may cost a little bit upfront to get the extra insulation or what have it for the pipe, and it may raise your water bill slightly, but I would say 100 extra bucks for materials and water, if that, is well worth it, as opposed to having a burst pipe or damaged plumbing, which can run hundreds to thousands of dollars. And that's the lesson for today. Take care of your pipes.